G'day, all you blokes at Tools Down. I'll introduce myself. My name's Gordon Mock, and I have a reputation almost worldwide for being accident prone. And most of these accidents happen on the farm. The introduction for being accident prone started at delivery. I was a forceps delivery and it damaged my eye. And some of my accidents that happened on the farm included lowering a gate valve, a big heavy gate valve, into an irrigation trench with a derrick, and the derrick touched the overhead 11,000 volt power lines. And I had a hold of, I was steadying the gate valve with a rope, and the electricity blew out the tyres on the truck, and luckily I didn't get any. I went to repair a switchboard in a pump shed, and being a pump shed, there's a lot of water around. I was standing in 6 inches of water without gumboots, and I grabbed hold of the switchboard and got the full voltage because I'd switched the main switch off, but it was faulty and it didn't switch the power off. I was out chasing cattle on a motorbike, and one cow got out of the yards, and I chased it around with a motorbike, and I eventually got angry and I rode straight at the cow. It put its head down, I ran into its head, I ended up on the ground 10 metres behind, and the cow was dead. We used to play lots of games with acetylene bombs, where you put acetylene and oxygen in a can or a drum and light it up and you get a huge explosion. One day, to play a trick on an exchange student that I had with me, I filled up a 500ml drench container and threw it under the clover harvester we were welding up, and I got the oxy torch and set it on fire. It didn't scare the exchange student, but it blew up in my face and I ended up with an infected eye. I fixed up the power shaft on the baler with a burr grinder, and I felt something go in my eye, but I thought, I've got to go baling hay tonight anyhow, so away I went, which was 18 kilometres away, and while I was baling, my eye got sorer and sorer and sorer, so I thought, I've got to go home. So I hopped in the ute to drive home and got a big magnet out of my toolbox and put over my eye. And after about 5 minutes, I felt something loose in my eye. So I took the magnet down, and I pulled the iron filing out of my eyeball, and I was right from there on. I didn't have to go to hospital that time. When I was repairing a set of harrows, I hit my big toe with a sledgehammer, and it broke the toe, but I put up with it for a few years, and then finally I had it operated on. So I've got a steel plate in my big toe, and to make it better, the next toe next to it, it's amputated. So now I've got 4 toes on my right foot, and I can't wear thongs anymore. Yeah, I was felling some trees in a pine forest, and I cut one down. It didn't fall over because it got hung up in the canopy of other trees. So I cut it again, and it fell down directly onto my right foot, and I couldn't get out. I was stuck there. Luckily, the chainsaw was on the ground just within reach with the motor running. So while my foot was being held down, I grabbed the chainsaw and I thought, which do I cut, my leg or the tree? I decided on the tree and got it down, got home, got to the hospital, and it's now got a series of screws that the doctor put in my foot. I was up on the side of the harvester, and I fell. I grabbed a piece of steel to hold me, stop me falling any further, and dislocated my shoulder, let go of the harvester. I ended up on a galvanised burr bush. Then one of the other harvester operators came and got his wife to take me to Tottenham, which is over an hour away on a corrugated road, and my shoulder, the pain was unbearable. Well, they filled me up with morphine, and they tried and they tried and they tried to get it undislocated, and that didn't work, so they put me in an ambulance, and it's 3 hours to Dubbo, and I swear that ambulance had square wheels. And when I got to Dubbo, they put me out completely, and then I was right to go home. So we got home by daylight. I think the genes for being accident prone are passed on to your progeny. So I've got a daughter who was working on the farm, and she had bare feet when she was using the pressure washer to wash down a vehicle. And where she had her foot on the hose got a pinprick in it, and it shot 2,000 psi water up into her foot. What's the chances of that? The first time and the last time the hose ever got a hole in it. And my son, I sent him out to shoot cockies or short-billed corellas in the sunflowers. Every day we had to do it. So he went out with a shotgun, and as you normally do, you have the left-hand window open as you drive with one hand, and you put the shotgun out the left-hand side. When you get parallel to the cockies, you let them have it. Well, my son Andrew, he did that, but the shotgun went off before he was ready, and he shot a hole through the door. Well, we drove around with that Land Cruiser for 12 months afterwards with this beautiful hole coming out the door. We did run the risk with some of the things we used to do. One was, how high could we stack hay on the back of a truck? And there's a picture here of 11 high on the back of a fairly big truck. And what we did, we were able to get 11 high or 101 bales of hay on a short wheelbase Land Rover. Now, it's not very long, it's only about 2 metres long. And we were going all right until our dad come down, because we were only young blokes then, and told us off. We've got some pictures here to show you, and some of it's to do with pests, animals that cause havoc on the farm. On our New South Wales farm, we have wild pigs, by the dozen or the hundreds. And here's a photo with, I think there's 82 in this mob of wild pigs, and they get into our stored grain. You can see where they've damaged the silo bag. Magpie geese, they can come in by the tens of thousands and devastate a crop. So this photo shows them devastating a crop. Floods, fires. There's a picture of the harvester that I've burnt. There's the front that's burnt, sitting in the paddock on a burnt patch. Droughts and bad weather, it's all part of farming. But I have a favourite saying, and that is that farming is fun. And mostly it is. So I hope you enjoy my misdemeanours. Thank you.